The reason why agents are so proud to say that, well, we only work on our sphere of influence is because they haven't mastered the art of communication. Selling is the art of communication, influence, and persuasion. The better you get at that, the more excited you are to talk to people outside of your sphere. The more excited you are to talk to people outside of the barbecue where they're like, oh God, here comes Joe again. He's probably gonna talk about real estate. Honey, brace yourself. And it's not your fault, but it does become your problem very quickly because 50, 60, 70, 80% of agents last year sold in the last 12 months, sold less than 4 homes. And by the time you pay your split to your broker, you pay your taxes, you pay your MLS dues, you pay for some this and some of that, you're left with 30, 40% of your first few commissions. It's not a lot of money. Most agents are driving Uber, they got a second job, they're doing a side hustle because real estate's not paying the bills like they want it to. What's up? Vikram Deol here. Welcome back. Hey, this is going to be controversial and I am okay with that. Because if it doesn't sting a little bit, sometimes it doesn't hurt. And if it doesn't hurt, you might not change. And I want you to change. I actually want to see you win. I want to see you win easy. I want you to win a lot. I want you to make a ton of money. I want you to help a lot of people. And I don't want you to have to kill yourself trying to do it. Because let's be real. If you follow the same training that's been in this industry the last 10 years, you will start to trace back that almost all trainers say the same thing. Right? They tell you how to objection handle, right? No, I'm not willing to do that. I can appreciate that. Can you appreciate that yet? Do you know enough about the prospect yet? Do you even know why they're talking to you yet? Most of the times we don't. In fact, I can prove it, but I don't want to prove it. I don't want to be right for me. I want this to be right for you. So let's talk about what we call trust-based openers. Most people, right? Not just realtors, most salespeople follow a few types of openers. The one is the lead with who you are and what you do. Ring, ring. Hey, Chris. Yeah. Hey, this is Vikram from XYZ Brokerage. And the reason I'm calling today, and they go, oh, yeah. Thanks for calling. We're not in a rush. We're a little busy. And they push you away, right? The other opener that a lot of agents use is do you got a minute? All right. So how does that one go? Ring, ring, ring. Hello. Hey, Chris. Yeah. Who's this? Chris, this is Vikram with XYZ Brokerage. I was wondering, and this might be a bad time for you, but I was wondering if you got 2 minutes where I could share with you why I'm calling. If you break that down, think about it. If you break that down, think about it. You just told them what? That it's probably a bad time for them and that you want 2 minutes of their time when it's already a bad time. Probably not very excited to talk to you. Now imagine you're doing an expired call or a FSBO call, or you're calling an investor or you're calling on behalf of maybe some investors and you're calling on distressed properties and you go ring, ring, and they go, hello. Hi, Chris. This is Vikram with XYZ with XYZ Brokerage. I see you have a property on 123 Banana Street. Yes, we do. Hey, I was wondering, are you willing to sell that property? And what do they say? No, even though they're in a distressed situation. Why? Because you sound like everybody else. Hey, I was curious. Did you know your house is no longer on the market? I don't know what kind of hillbillies these sales trainers are calling. When I tried using that line, when I first got into expires, and we did we did almost $150 million, right? In 3.5, 4 years it expired. So I'm not speaking from my, what hole, I'm speaking from the truth. They're like, yeah, we know our house isn't on the market. And by the way, you're the third person to call us this morning who said the same thing. Of course we know our house isn't on the market. It's a $900,000 home. I had one person say, you think I'm an effing idiot? And I was like, well, no, sir. He's like, so then what makes you, Mr. Stupid Agent, think that I don't know about my own property and finances? I was like, well, I don't know. That's what I was trained to say. He goes, at least you're honest. At least you're honest. Because at least you're honest. All the other people, they just start blowing smoke and I hang up on them. He's like, at least you're honest. He's like, so what do you got for me, bro? What do you got for me, man? Get 30 seconds. And I'm like, honestly, I think there's some things that your agent might not have done properly. And I'm sure you did your due diligence when you picked your agents, but maybe they didn't walk you through like the 3 pricing strategies and like how to like list your house to attract the most amount of buyers. Would you be open to us sitting down and talking about that? And he's like, sure. You got 14 minutes or something like that, right? He's like super driver type A personality. Ended up going to his house, winning the listing, and it was a $1.2 million listing. And he had a stack. If we can't open a conversation, right? He had a stack of other agents' presentations. And these are good agents, right? But if we can't open a conversation, what do we do, right? Where is our level of confidence? I get on calls with agents and I say, hey, what do you say to a prospect to get them to talk to you? And you know what they tell me? I'm not prepared, Vic. You're putting me on the spot. Well, isn't sales all about being on the spot? Like imagine, right? Like take your favorite quarterback, right? Joe Montana, Russell Wilson, right? Take your favorite quarterback. There's only 2 I know, so I'm only going to use those. And if I tell Russell Wilson or I told Joe Montana, hey, run a typical standard, XYZ pass. And if he looks at me and he's like, well, I'm not ready, Vic. You put me on the spot. I didn't warm up. I'd be like, what, bro? You're a professional and the best in the game and you don't know how to do a basic pass and you're on the spot because I asked you to do a pass? Crickets. Imagine if that's you right now. And I'm not calling you out to be rude or mean. I'm calling you out to tell you the truth because most people won't say this to you. If you can't do something on the spot with somebody like me, what are you doing with the people that can actually put money in your pocket? Because how you perform with me is how you're going to perform with them. Worse, if you feel like you're on the spot with me, you probably aren't picking up the phone to call the people you don't know because you don't want to sound like you don't know what you're talking about because real estate's all about ego. Real estate's all about perception. And so the minute we get on the phone, reality shows up very quickly. Are you saying the right things? Are you not saying the right things? So some better trust-based openers are ring, ring, hello. Now let's say you hear the person, right? Let's say you've called the person and you hear that they're super busy, right? You can have some paper in your hand, right? So you can have like some paper in your hand. So you're shuffling some paper around, right? And you'd be like, hey, Chris. Yeah. Hey man. Sounds like you're doing a little bit over there. I was just reviewing my notes real quick. And he's gonna be like, who are you? Right? Because we didn't introduce ourselves. Hey, I was just going over you still own 123 Sheridan Street? Yeah, I do. Yeah. Hey, I was just looking at some notes on your property. I was just looking at the tax records on your property. I was just looking at the previous listing on your property. You notice I'm actually looking down at the paper when I say that because it changes my intention, right? And your tone naturally shifts. Like I know a lot of trainers, and I know even I talk a lot about tonality, but it's hard to teach tonality, but it's easy to teach intention, right? So when you're looking down, you're like, hey, I was just looking at some of my notes on your property over there off of Sheridan Street. Sounds like you're kind of busy. You got 30 seconds though, real quick? Yeah, what's up? Who are you? Oh yeah, hey, I'm just Vikram Deol here. It looks like your property. Hey, my God, it looks like do you still own it? Yeah, we do. Okay, and you guys are trying to sell it for the last 6 months? Yeah, we were. And this home feeds to the blank and a blank to blank school district, right? Yeah. And it didn't sell? No, wait, why are you calling me again? Right? Do you see how we can get the person? Oh, I apologize. I am a local agent. I have a couple of buyers that are looking to get into this neighborhood possibly. I saw your house was on the market, but it didn't sell. Curious, like what's making you even wanting to move in the first place? And they're going to pattern interrupt. They're going to forget about everything. They're going to have a conversation with you. And then you can go in and decide what you want to do. Do you want to book an appointment? Do you want to book a showing? Right? What's your goal? What's your game? But if you say things like, I'm the number one agent in the neighborhood, and it's my job to know about all the properties for my buyers that I'm potentially working with, where the F were you last week when their house was on the market? Because if you're the neighborhood expert, shouldn't you know about the neighborhood properties for sale? Doesn't that make sense? Do you see how we lose trust by we're following blindly the person in front of us? If You're talking to an open house lead, right? Open house. If you can't book appointments directly live from an open house when you have people in front of you, I am shocked because it's the easiest thing to do. If you say you're good in front of people, this is why real estate, right? Salespeople are hated. Vic, I'm really good when I'm in front of people. Awesome. How many open houses are you doing a month? 3 to 4. Awesome. How many people come into each open house? Average 4, 5, 7 more? No, about average 5. So 20 people a month, right? How many of those people have you put into contract? Well, they're coming to an open house. You don't get people hotter than walking into your storefront. If you can't convert them, that means you suck at selling. Just being brutally honest here, because I want you to win. If somebody is in front of you, like I walked into a store here today in Columbia, I wanted to buy a freezer to put an ice bath on my balcony. Looked at the freezers that they had on the floor. They were too small. So I went to the sales guy. Now the sales guy didn't sell me anything. You know what he did? He gave me the mouse and he said, you scroll. Didn't ask me a single question. Didn't ask me why I needed a freezer. Didn't ask me why I wanted a certain size. Didn't ask me about price. Didn't ask me about anything. He said, here's a mouse. You scroll. If you see something you like, let me know and I'll write it up for you. Okay. Probably could have sold me a lot more stuff if he asked me questions, but he didn't. So I bought my freezer and I left. He didn't do anything. He didn't deserve a commission. He was standing there. I had to go find him. If you can't book an appointment from an open house using the game plan frame and getting an overarching goal, then stop doing open houses because you're wasting your time. Our clients are booking 2 to 3 appointments per open house. Like follow-up is great. It's awesome. It's also kind of weak because if you're belly to belly and you're good in person, how did you not book appointments there? So, but let's say, you got a couple, but you couldn't get everybody. So you're calling somebody, right? Maybe you got busy. You couldn't talk to the people on the way out. Their kids started puking and barfing in the car and they had to leave, right? You can't talk to them. What do you say when you call them back? Are you going to say, ring, ring. Hey, Vikram, my name's Bob. We met at my open house. Remember? And they're going to go, oh yeah, no, I don't really remember. Yeah, no worries. And they go, oh, I'm busy. Can you call me back later? Sure. When should I call you back? Probably half past never because I'm going to block your call. And that's why we don't like to follow up with people because they always say the same thing. They say they're not interested. They're just looking. They just started or they have an agent. Or we ask them questions. My favorite thing is when I talk to agents. Well, Vic, I do open houses, but 80% of the people have an agent in there. Really? So they walk into the open house because I trained my clients, right? When my clients worked with me, I said, when you go into an open house, the agent's going to start asking you a bunch of questions. Simply deny to answer the questions and say this. My name is blah, blah, blah. I'm working with Vikram Deol of this brokerage. If you have any questions, I will give him feedback on the property. I will give him feedback. You can call him and talk to him. And you know what the average agent's going to say? Oh, okay, great. That's awesome. Enjoy the house. But most agents aren't like me. They didn't teach their client to walk into an open house and state their name and even give them a business card. I used to give all my clients business cards. Why? Because it solidified I was their agent. And I would tell them exactly what to do. When you go to an open house, do this, this, and this with the business card. Here's the thing. The other thing it does is it puts your name outside in an open house in somebody else's open house. And if there's other people listening, they might ask that person, hey, you like your agent? Oh, we love Vikram. What do you like about him? Blah, 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 blah. Do you happen to have his information? Yeah, sure. You guys, we'd get referrals from people because of that. Okay, anyways, I digress. So you do an open house, right? And you're calling the person back. You guys stop asking inside of an open house if the person has an agent because they're going to say yes. They're going to say yes. Are you working with an agent? Yes. Are you pre-approved? No, we're not in a rush. It's the same answer every time. When you call somebody back, you're going to go ring, ring. Hey, Vic. Yeah. Hey, this is just Chris. We met a couple weeks ago at the open house, 123 Sheridan Street. We were the ones that had that really cool office with the plant wall and all the cool colors and that blacked out office with the cool, like self-help notes. Oh yeah. And they're going to go immediately they're going to say something like, yeah, that was a great house, but because what do most agents ask for? They want feedback on the property. If they were interested in the property, you would know by now, right? Especially in the markets like which are busy, where properties are selling in 2, 3, 4 weeks, you would know if it's 2 weeks that have passed if they were interested. So they're not interested in the property. So why don't we stop focusing on the property feedback, especially if you're not the agent? Like if you're not the agent, why would you care about the property feedback? What you should care about is their overarching goal. Yeah, hey, so we were the ones with the really cool background for the office. It looked like it was kind of like a recording studio. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, I was curious, right? I was curious. What's got you guys even looking at houses that are 3 bedroom, 2 baths in the Triz neighborhood? And now we get them talking about why they're moving instead of the property that they're not interested in. Well, our current house is too small, and we got a couple of kids, some dogs, and my wife and I have been just thinking about getting a bigger place, but we're not really in a rush. Yeah, yeah, no worries, man. So when you say it's small, how do you mean? Oh, well, we're in a 2 bed condo. Oh, okay. Sounds pretty good, right? 2 bed condo. You got 2 kids. How old are the kids, right? Dogs. I mean, sounds like it could work. Tell me more what's going on, like on a day to day. And they go, well, the 4-year old and the 8-year old are sharing a bedroom. Okay. And the 8-year old likes to bully the 4-year old, or vice versa. The 4-year old likes to bully the 8-year old. And they're starting to argue and they're starting to need some space. And, one's a boy, one's a girl. So like, they're starting to like want their independence, and we don't have an office. Okay. And why does not having an office matter? Well, because I work from home 80% of the time. My wife's back at her office, but she's got an option now because they had some new changes where the company's trying to downsize their office space that she can work from home 50% of the time. Okay, so why is that a problem? Sounds like that sounds awesome. Two of you are at home. If the kids are going crazy, one of you can stop and watch them. That is awesome. But we both work in the living room. Oh, and you got dogs and cats? Yeah. So like what happens when everybody's home and everybody's at the kitchen table? Exactly. And how long has that been going on for? About 6 months now. She actually stays at the office a lot more um, because I'm already working from home. So even though she has the option to be here, she chooses to be there because it's less chaotic. Chaotic? Yeah, when the kids are home and the dogs are barking, it's just like, and I'm talking, it's just, or if I'm in a meeting, the kids have to be in their room and they're fighting each other now. It's just crazy. And how long has that been going on for? God, it's been going on for like 6 or 7, 8 months now. Wow, that long? Is that having any impact on you or your family or your wife, the kids? Oh my God, how so? Now do you see how you've completely shifted the conversation? You got pain, you got time length, right? You know about their family, you know about their job situation, you know more about them than any other agent they've ever talked to, all because you asked a couple of different questions at the beginning of the conversation, right? If you don't know how to open conversations, you're not a salesperson. You're an order taker, and you're hoping and praying that somebody will call you to give you an order. It's why we focus on our sphere. Y'all, I'll tell you, like our sphere of influence, right? Like our sphere of influence is about this big. The amount of people we know is about that big. The amount of people we don't know is infinity. Where do you think there's more business? You think there's more business right here with the people you know, or you think there's more business here with the people you don't know? I can tell you, I know a lot of realtors, a lot of realtors. And if I only focused on those realtors, we would have a business that was this big. I wouldn't be doing this YouTube channel, wouldn't be doing webinars. We wouldn't give out content. We wouldn't have our school community. If you focus on the people you know, you're limited to point. The reason why agents are so proud to say that, well, we only work on our sphere of influence is because they haven't mastered the art of communication. Selling is the art of communication, influence, and persuasion. The better you get at that, the more excited you are to talk to people outside of your sphere. The more excited you are to talk to people outside of the barbecue where they're like, oh God, here comes Joe again. He's probably going to talk about real estate. Honey, brace yourself. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, it's good. Yeah, good. How are you? Oh, I'm doing great, man. The market's on fire. Yeah, we're not going anywhere, Joe. Well, hey, if you know anybody looking to buy or sell, you know how to get a hold of me, right? Yeah, Joe, we got your number, man. Every time we see you, you give us a card. Well, you want a card? No, I'm good, Joe. I don't need another card of yours. I got you. That's why we do it, because we're taught improperly. And it's not your fault, but it does become your problem very quickly because 50, 60, 70, 80% of agents last year sold in the last 12 months, sold less than 4 homes. And by the time you pay your split to your broker, you pay your taxes, you pay your MLS dues, you pay for some this and some of that, you're left with 30, 40% of your first few commissions. It's not a lot of money. Most agents are driving Uber. They got a second job. They're doing a side hustle because real estate's not paying the bills like they want it to. Learn the skills, get in the right rooms, have the better conversations, learn to talk to people you don't know, learn to book appointments. Then you learn how to, right? Once you know the ultimate appointment booking formula, then we can teach you the 7-figure buyer and listing presentation, right? If you're closing at 70, 80, 90% of your buyer and listing consultations because you're completely different than everybody else, your processes are different, your language patterns are different, your understanding of the market, how you price homes is different, how you negotiate offers is different. Well, now you start doing 2, 3, 4, 5 extra deals a month, and life becomes very exciting very fast. But if you keep doing the same thing, having the same conversations, you get more of what you get. So if you're curious about what we do, just drop a comment below. Just type in Triz, T-R-I-S, and myself or the team will reach out to you because there's no reason in not making this year the best year ever. I'll talk to you soon.